some men struggle with like for me for years struggle with like expressing their personality. I'm very sensitive. I'm like an HSP, INFJ type. So I have like a motherly presence, if you will. As what my friends have told me, I have a motherly presence. So uh, it isn't accepted to have that in the realm of masculinity, but that's just because like our culture prioritizes stoicism and other things like related to that. But that's how like I've never been that way because I'm just naturally sensitive, and that's how it led me to even making this podcast is because I I am sensitive and I want to be a psychotherapist, and that kind of involves a lot of having high sensitivity and being an empath. So that for me, I think I read a book. I have it right here, actually. I read this book, Highly Sensitive. I don't know if you can say it, Highly Sensitive Man. Yeah, I read this book, and it's actually eye-opening about how how men can accept, especially if they're an HSP, how they can accept that. And for me, it's been kind of like a journey of accepting that because sensitivity is related to women and is not always talked about when it comes to men.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, I read a different book about sensitivity. Totally forget what it was called. I think it was just called Sensitive.
Mhm.
Well, either way, I listened to that and I related so much to it because I'm definitely a sensitive person as well. Um, which can be hard because yeah, again, like, modern thing, kind of doesn't, for masculine standards, it's not considered like a masculine ideal for men, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, a lot of it I really related to when it comes to being sensitive. Like the idea of like if I see someone angry and upset and they're not yelling at me, they're yelling at someone else. Weirdly enough, I sometimes feel kind of hurt, like I'm the one being yelled at, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and it's unpleasant that way, which is weird, like, even if I'm not the person receiving their anger, it's almost like I'm feeling it still,
Yeah.
that they're yelling at me, and I remember them mentioning that in the book, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's me for sure," like,
Yeah.
I struggle to feel that way, and they gave some, like, really nice tips on how to, like, deal with that kinda thing, like, I think I mean, I have yet to, like, put it into usage, but it's like, the idea is, like, you wanna, like, in a sense, maybe kind of, like, create, like, an invisible glass wall for yourself, so, like, maybe the negativity of another person doesn't affect you and that kind of thing when you're sensitive and everything, and all sorts of stuff like that. And it was really good. It was really interesting. So a lot of it I related to.
Yeah, that could be hard to do, to, have that boundary with the world around you, especially if you're sensitive, but it's not like, maybe for years, sensitivity has been seen as feminine, but it's just I see my sensitivity as a strength, and I think the narrative around it needs to be, changed so that people can feel more comfortable expressing their sensitivity. Me, like, even, like, my hobbies, I'm into gardening, I I love fashion. What else? Like, I like musicals, so it's just all that stuff is, like, associated with, women do that, but it's just over time, I didn't care anymore because it's just like, this doesn't make sense. If we think about it, like, uh which there are I think when we talk about gender norms, there is a distinction between men and women, but that distinction kind of gets, blurry when it comes to culture.
Right. Yeah.